Imagine you're sinking into sleep after a long, tiring day. The night is quiet. The house is wrapped in darkness. But just a few hours later, you bolt upright because a sharp, searing pain shoots down your calf. The muscle hardens as if someone is tightening a vise. You break into a sweat. Try to stretch your leg. But the more you stretch, the more it hurts. That night, your sleep shatters. And the next morning, instead of feeling refreshed, you wake up exhausted, worn out, and foggy, as if a layer of mist is covering your mind. If you think this only happens to regular people, look over to the NFL field. In the game between the Chiefs and the Chargers, some of the youngest, fittest athletes in America have had to sit down on the turf because of cramps. They have medical teams rushing in to help, teammates to support them off the field. But what about you? When a cramp wakes you at 2 a.m., it's just you in the dark. And only your body has to endure it. According to Mayo Clinic, more than 60% of adults over 50 have experienced nighttime cramps at least once a month. And for many, it isn't just a temporary discomfort. Repeated pain can cause chronic insomnia, lead to declining memory, increase the risk of falls, and even signal hidden problems with circulation or serious nutrient deficiencies. In today's video, we're going to explore why nighttime cramps have become a dangerous sleep thief. Especially after age 50, you'll see it's not simply a muscle spasm. There are hidden causes behind it, frightening consequences if you ignore it, and more importantly, natural ways to reclaim your sleep, protect your memory, and live healthier every day. Stay to the end, because there's a little noticed mineral that can completely change this situation. Try picturing this. You're John, 57, driving Uber nights in Houston. After a grueling shift, you get home, hoping to catch a few hours of sleep before dawn. But before you can rest, a brutal night cramp wakes you up. Your calf locks up, the pain so intense you almost want to scream. You sit up, try to massage it, try to stretch your leg. But instead of relief, you feel your pulse racing, your heart pounding, cold sweat beating up. When the pain passes, the clock already reads 3 a.m. The sleep you have left is too short. And when the sun rises, John is back behind the wheel with dark circles under his eyes and a heavy head. Linda, 62, living in Florida, often watches her grandkids after work. She's cheerful and active during the day. But at night, leg cramps wear her down. Some nights, she has to jump out of bed and pace the room until the spasm eases. The next morning, Linda isn't just sore, she forgets where she left the car keys. Whether she reminded the kids about homework, that brain fog, that hazy feeling, makes her anxious. Is it just sleep deprivation? Or an early sign of memory loss? Their stories are not rare. In the U.S., millions of people over 50 face sleep problems after 50 caused directly by nighttime cramps. They're not just fleeting muscle contractions. They rob you of deep sleep, drain your energy, and more importantly, quietly erode your memory and clarity, things that become more fragile as we age. Think about yourself. How many times have you been jolted awake by pain so sharp you had to leap out of bed? How many mornings have you felt so tired you weren't alert enough to drive, to work, or even to chat with family? Each episode might cost you 1 to 2 precious hours of sleep. And if it happens several times a week, you're building up a massive sleep debt. Sleep debt doesn't just make you yawn all day. Research from Harvard Health shows that people over 50 who are routinely sleep deprived have a 30% higher risk of memory loss and other brain-related issues, including Alzheimer's. When you lose sleep due to night cramps, your brain doesn't fully restore itself. New memories aren't properly consolidated. And even simple thoughts like, "What was I going to buy at the store today?" become harder. This pain doesn't stop at the muscles. It creeps into every corner of life. An Uber driver like John can become dangerous on the road if he's not focused. A grandmother like Linda might forget to pick up a grandchild after school. A Walmart night shift worker might make mistakes on the job because of a foggy mind. Cramps don't kill you outright, but they can open the door to a chain of serious consequences. What's more troubling is that many people over 50 have grown used to this. They see it as a normal part of aging. They accept sleepless nights, sudden pains, and foggy days, not realizing that everything can change. Maybe you've told yourself, tonight will be fine, I'll sleep better tomorrow. Then a leg cramp hits, right as you drift off. And the next morning, you're not only sore, you feel your memory is just a little worse. Your quickness a little slower. This is the dangerous cycle. Night cramps, right pointing arrow, lost sleep, right pointing arrow, memory loss, right pointing arrow, anxiety. Stress, right pointing arrow, worse cramps. And so your quality of life gets chipped away, day by day, week by week, month by month. If you've been through this, you're not alone. Consider sharing your experience in the comments below. Your story might help someone else realize they're going through the same thing. And they'll feel relieved to know they're not the only one. When a nighttime cramp jolts you awake, many people think it's just the muscle acting up. But in reality, your body is sending an SOS that something deeper is off. And after age 50, those signals show up more often because the body has entered a sensitive stage. Let's start with the clearest factor: mineral deficiencies. Our muscles need magnesium, potassium, and calcium to contract and relax smoothly. When you're low on these, muscle fibers become stubborn, quick to clamp down but slow to release, creating that sharp leg cramp. In America, many people over 50 eat a diet heavy in processed foods, coffee, and soda, and light on greens, nuts, and fish. The result is a high risk of magnesium deficiency, and that doesn't just trigger cramps, it directly impacts memory and brain health. The second cause is poor circulation. When we're young, blood vessels are flexible, and blood and oxygen get to muscles quickly. Over time, vessel walls stiffen, blood flow to the legs drops. Especially if you sit a lot or move less, muscles become oxygen poor and react by cramping. Worse, poor circulation also starves the brain of nutrients, increasing the risk of brain fog and memory loss after 50. There's another often overlooked factor: medication side effects. Many people at this age take blood pressure meds, diuretics, or cholesterol drugs. These can deplete minerals, especially magnesium and potassium. If you take meds regularly but don't replenish nutrients, cramps become regular nighttime visitors. At the same time, the deficiency weakens the nervous system and affects memory. Then there's dehydration. The human body is like a small river. With enough water, everything flows. Without it, muscles dry out and are prone to spasm. Many people over 50 don't drink enough because they don't want late-night bathroom trips. But that choice inadvertently raises the risk of night cramps and leaves the brain underhydrated, causing fatigue and reduced focus. We also can't ignore lifestyle habits. Do you sit in front of the TV for hours without standing up? Drink coffee late at night? Skip meals or rely on fast, processed foods? These small things add up, stressing your muscles and nervous system. Cramps show up as a reminder that your body's being neglected. And there's a deeper cause: neural aging. Nerve signals that tell muscles when to contract and relax rely on balanced electrolytes. After 50, nerve conduction slows. That means when the muscle contracts, the release signal doesn't arrive quickly enough, prolonging the painful spasm. If those signals weaken in the brain, the outcome is memory loss, memories gradually slipping away. The key thing to remember is that nighttime cramps aren't just a muscle problem. They reflect your overall health. They can indicate you're low on minerals, that blood isn't circulating well, or that your brain is under strain. If you focus only on massaging during the pain but ignore the root causes, you'll stay stuck in the loop: pain, lost sleep, fatigue, declining memory. In the next few minutes, we'll dive into the serious consequences of brushing off night cramps. More importantly, stay for the solutions, because there's one mineral, often forgotten in everyday meals, that can both stop cramps and protect memory. That mineral is magnesium, the key many doctors call the friend of muscles and the brain. If you think night cramps are just a minor annoyance, look deeper at what they leave behind. A single night jolted awake by leg cramps might last a few minutes, but the fallout can cling to you all day, even for years. First is chronic insomnia. When the pain keeps returning, your sleep becomes fragmented and shallow. CDC data shows adults over 50 who sleep under 6 hours a night are twice as likely to have problems with memory and mood. Long-term sleep loss is like stripping away your brain's natural charger. You wake up heavy, groggy, and that fatigue trails you all day. Next is the risk of nighttime falls. Imagine a cramp hits at 2 a.m. and you jump up to pace around in the dark looking for relief. For people over 50, a single slip can mean a hip fracture or serious injury. In the U.S., falls are the leading cause of hospitalizations among older adults. And many cases start from seemingly small moments like this. But the effects aren't just physical. Memory loss shadows those sleepless nights caused by night cramps. When deep sleep gets cut short, the brain can't consolidate new memories. Harvard Health has emphasized that poor sleep is a significant risk factor for Alzheimer's. Which means every time you brush off a nighttime cramp, you're trading not only immediate pain but also long-term clarity. Think of Linda, the grandmother we mentioned earlier. Because of cramps, she lost sleep night after night. One day, she forgot to take her grandchild to piano class, even though she'd promised. Another time, she left a pot on the stove until it burned. These aren't just little things. For her, they were warning signs that memory was dimming. And the route started with nights disrupted by cramps. Or John, the 57-year-old Uber driver. After many nights of poor sleep due to leg cramps, his driving reflexes slowed. Once, when a rider suddenly asked for a sharp turn, he nearly couldn't react in time. Luckily, there was no accident, but John realized he was risking his own life and others, all because he dismissed those nighttime spasms. That's why doctors often warn, night cramps after 50 shouldn't be considered normal. They can signal poor circulation, diabetes, or weakened nerves. Ignore them, and you won't just endure sleepless nights, you may speed up brain aging and raise your risk of dementia. Worse, many people assume it's just getting older and resign themselves to living with it. But the truth is you can prevent it and improve. You don't have to let these pains dictate your quality of life. If you're watching this and recognize that you or someone you love often suffers nighttime cramps, share this video with them. A small action might help them see that what they're going through isn't fate, it's a fixable problem. Don't let night cramps keep stealing your sleep and memory in silence. So what can we do to end nighttime cramps and reclaim sleep and memory after 50? The good news is there are answers. You don't need complicated or expensive methods. With small, steady changes, you'll notice a real difference. Start at the table. Let's begin with the most familiar thing. What you eat every day. In the US, it's easy to grab processed foods at Walmart or Target. Or fast food on the go. But that habit is exactly why many people over 50 are mineral deficient. Picture your breakfast of pastries, coffee, and a little bacon. Tasty and convenient, but low in magnesium, potassium, and calcium, the three essentials for muscles and the brain. Instead, if you start your morning with a bowl of oatmeal, sprinkle in some walnuts or almonds, and add a banana, you're giving your body the minerals it needs for relaxed muscles and a clear mind. Magnesium really is the secret mineral many overlook. It's in spinach, pumpkin seeds, salmon, and avocado. Taken consistently, magnesium doesn't just prevent leg cramps, it improves sleep quality, reduces brain fog, and supports memory. A National Institutes of Health study showed that people who get enough magnesium have a much lower risk of memory loss after 50. Next comes healthy protein. Salmon, tuna, chicken breast, staples in American markets, are rich in omega-3s that support circulation and reduce inflammation, limiting cramps and protecting brain cells. Don't forget greens like broccoli, kale, and spinach. Adding a bit each meal helps your body absorb enough B vitamins and folate. Crucial for the nervous system. Be careful with what to limit. Too much coffee late in the afternoon can deplete magnesium and disrupt sleep. Processed foods, frozen pizza, salty snacks, soda, throw off your electrolytes. You don't have to quit completely, but cut back and swap in water, herbal tea, or simple homemade dishes. Shift to daily habits. Nutrition is your foundation, but your body also needs movement and care to recover. Try starting with one simple routine: 5 minutes of stretching before bed. Stand near a wall, place your hands on it, and gently stretch your calves. Or sit on the bed. Straighten your legs, and pull your toes gently toward you. These small moves can reduce the risk of night cramps by up to 60%. According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Then add a 30-minute walk each day. You don't need to run a marathon. A loop around the block or walking through Walmart is enough to improve circulation. Deliver oxygen and nutrients to your muscles and brain. Better blood flow doesn't just prevent cramps, it nourishes memory and cuts the risk of brain fog. Another small but powerful habit is keeping a consistent bedtime. When you stick to a regular sleep-wake rhythm, your body learns to relax. Hormones self-regulate, and you're less likely to wake with cramps. Many people over 50 tend to watch TV late, but try switching it off earlier. Read a few pages, put down the phone, and let your brain prepare for deep sleep. And don't forget water. It sounds simple, but hydration is key. A warm glass of water before bed can help keep muscles supple. If you're worried about nighttime bathroom trips, spread your water intake throughout the day instead of loading it all in the evening. Natural self-care. Beyond food and habits, there are gentle methods you can use at home. One is soaking your feet in warm water with Epsom salt. The magnesium in Epsom salt absorbs through the skin, relaxing muscles and soothing the mind. Many people over 50 say that after a few pre-bed soaks, their leg cramps drop significantly. You can also try a warm bath before sleep. The heat dilates blood vessels, boosts circulation, and signals the brain that it's time to rest. A few drops of lavender essential oil can deepen and ease your sleep. Another option is light massage. No need for an expensive spa. A few minutes of calf massage with your hands or roller helps blood flow and releases tight muscles. It's also a way to show your body you care, rather than just enduring the pain. Magnesium's special role. We've mentioned magnesium many times, and now it's time to emphasize it. Magnesium is the companion to muscles and the brain. Without enough, muscles cramp more easily, nerves transmit signals poorly, and the brain slips into fatigue and memory problems. With enough, muscles relax, sleep deepens, and memory strengthens. You can get it from natural foods like almonds, spinach, avocado, and salmon. Or, if needed, talk to your doctor about a low-dose supplement. The important thing is consistency. Because your body can't store magnesium for long. Connecting sleep, muscles, and memory. The amazing thing is that when you adopt these changes, you don't just stop night cramps, you invest in memory and long-term health. A magnesium-rich meal, a daily walk, a deep night's sleep, together, they help you live more comfortably today and stay sharp and independent for years to come. Think back to Linda, the grandmother who struggled with cramps. After adding a handful of almonds to meals, starting a pre-bed calf stretch, and soaking her feet with Epsom salt a few times a week, she slept more soundly. What she noticed most wasn't just peaceful nights, it was better memory. She forgot less, worried less, and felt more confident caring for her grandkids. After all the warnings and worries, here's what you need to know. Nighttime cramps aren't destiny. They aren't something you have to endure just because you're over 50. There are simple solutions, and real stories proving change is possible. Linda, the Florida grandmother we mentioned, once believed she had to accept being woken by night cramps. She often sighed that she was old, that it was just the rule of aging. But one day, her daughter shared an article about magnesium deficiency and sleep. Linda began to change. She added greens to dinner, swapped cookies for almonds, and spent 5 minutes stretching her calves before bed. Within weeks, the sleepless nights nearly disappeared. Even better, she felt more alert in the mornings, and her memory sharpened. She could remember her grandchild's piano schedule and the little tasks she used to miss. John, the Uber driver in Houston, was also worn down by cramps. He didn't believe small changes could make a big difference. But after trying warm Epsom salt foot soaks, drinking more water, and cutting afternoon coffee, he was surprised to see the leg cramps fade. More importantly, he felt more confident on the road. no longer worried that lack of sleep would slow his reflexes. For him, the change wasn't just health, it was safety for himself and his passengers. Stories like Linda's and John's share one message: anyone can improve. You don't have to be wealthy or perfect. Start with one small change. Stick with it, and you'll slowly reclaim your sleep, clarity, and self-confidence. Maybe you're watching this and thinking, I've suffered for years, can it still help? The answer is yes. Our bodies have a remarkable capacity to heal. Whether you're 50, 60, or 70, healthy habits can still make a difference. You deserve peaceful nights, clear mornings, and energetic days to enjoy life. Consider this a reminder: your health is still in your hands. Every small step today, a glass of water, a handful of almonds, a few loops around the house, is a move towards stopping night cramps, protecting your memory, and living healthier for years to come. If you've made it this far, I'd like to ask you, of all the solutions we just covered, which one will you try first? Leave your answer in the comments. Your share might be the inspiration someone else needs to get started. We've covered a lot of ground in this video. You've seen that night cramps are not just nighttime muscle pains. They're warnings, sleep thieves, and a quiet force behind declining memory after 50. But you also learned that with small changes in diet and daily habits, and by paying attention to a key mineral like magnesium, you can absolutely reclaim full nights of sleep. Wake up clear-headed, and protect your memory for the long haul. This channel exists for one purpose: to walk with you on the path of healthy aging, living strong, clear, and energetic after 50. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, because every week we'll explore more ways to protect muscle health, memory, and sleep. And before you go, I want you to be ready for an important next topic. In our next video, we'll talk about the 7 early signs of memory decline that most people overlook. If you care about keeping your brain sharp and preventing memory loss, you won't want to miss it. See you in the next video. Remember, you can steer your health. Each good night's sleep, each small habit, each step you take adds up to a healthier, clearer future.